Welcome back, kids. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared. He's Bob. Again, you can see Pickett in the corner. She's licking something, either her paw or the bed. Sometimes she likes to lick the sheets. She's weird. She eats drywall too. It's pretty awesome. So,
I think dogs are supposed to eat drywall.
yeah, I think so. She doesn't eat treats though. That's like this whole thing. Every single time we go to like get like breakfast sandwiches or like coffees or something on the weekend, we take her in the car because we don't want to leave her alone again. She's alone quite a bit, so we just take her in the car, and every single time we pull up to this window, no matter where it is, they're always like, "Oh, can we give your dog a treat?" And I have to look at them and be like, "No, she won't eat them." And then the inevitable like eye roll from like the 16-year-old girl, and she walks away. And I'm like, no, like I am dead serious. Like she will put it in her mouth and then she'll just drop it on the ground. This dog does not like treats. Imagine that. But she eats drywall. So
Well, I was gonna say, Leo's not only sprinting around right now, I can hear him.
Is he running into shit?
He's literally doing the Leo 500 right now, but he's too big. He's now too big though to run in between the a couple things. So
yeah, has he gotten stuck yet?
He hasn't gotten stuck, but he hasn't run through the chair and the ottoman yet, or in a while.
Yeah,
unless he's doing it right now. I don't know, but
yeah, because it's always like I said, it's because then they give you the attitude like, oh, you're one of those people. It's like some people are like, oh no, I only feed my dog all organic everything, or like my personal favorite was the Joe Rogan vegan cat story. But it's not that. It's just that she just doesn't like treats. I don't know why. She just doesn't like them.
How did Amy train her?
That's a good question. Amy, how did you train her? How did you train Pickett if she doesn't like treats? She wasn't bad, like that bad about it before.
Oh,
and she used cheese.
true.
She used cheese instead of treats. So, but yeah, no, it's like, it's crazy. Like you give her something. Vinny saw it a couple weeks ago. I gave her a bone because she was like just being fucking crazy outside, and I couldn't get her to relax, and I just wanted her to like stop running so she could breathe because she was panting so heavy. So I got her a bone, and I literally spent, I don't know, anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes chasing her around the yard because she does this thing when you give her a bone. She tries to go bury it. And when it's in the house, it's not that big of a deal because she just like jumps on her bed and starts like digging her bed, or like gets on a couch and starts to like try and dig in the couch and bury it in the couch somewhere, whatever. But when you're outside in the backyard that is now fully fenced in, so we don't have her on a runner or a leash anymore, she starts to go to any spot she can find to try and dig a real hole in the dirt to bury the bone. So, like I said, it took me like 20 minutes of chasing her, telling her no, to her finally lay down and chew on the bone. And then at one point, she was like being really quiet. And this was when me and Vinny were just hanging out in the yard after we played golf a couple weeks ago. And I was like, I haven't seen her in a second. Like, where the fuck did she go? And I looked, she was behind that single tree in the backyard, and she had like dug a little hole behind it and actually buried the bone. Like I walked over and I was like, where the fuck's your bone? And she just like did the thing. She looked at me, and looked at the ground, and looked at me, and looked at the ground. And then she dug a little bit and pulled the bone out. The bone's covered in fucking mud. She doesn't care. Then she just starts chewing it. Like, fucking dogs, man. Shit wherever they want.
Let's say I gave Leo his first antler yesterday.
Yeah. How'd that go?
He seems to like it.
Yeah. He took to it all right.
He was afraid of it at first.
So like barking at it.
Yes. Like when a dog's like irrationally afraid of something.
Oh yeah.
It like walks towards it slow and then like bounces back.
Yep.
He was doing that and fucking barking at it. Dude, fucking antler.
Yeah.
So, man.
What is this fucking thing?
Yeah, the fuck is you? It's like, dude, just an antler. Relax. Chew the fucking thing. You love chewing, obviously.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a lot of crazy random shit that's been going on. Trying to decide where I want to start here. I guess I'll just start, with the oldest story and work our way back here. So there's two stories back to back here that have to do with the Taliban. Now, granted, like I'm just gonna kind of like say them and then we'll like opine and then move on, because truthfully, I'm so sick of fucking hearing about like everyone talk about Afghanistan that when it comes on in the podcast that I listen, like if I'm listening to Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar, and they have a segment on Afghanistan, I just fast forward through it. Like I do, like there's nothing more you can talk about that like hasn't already been covered. Like we understand it's a shit show. We know it was all fucked up. It was done stupid. It led to people dying. Biden's an idiot. It doesn't make sense. Like we get it. Like it's we're beating a dead horse at this point. Like it's fine. But why I'm bringing up these stories in particular is because they relate to the Taliban, and I also think they're hilarious. So, it's like I said, we'll cover these, do a little opining, and then move on with our merry day. So the first one came out. This was written a week ago, last week actually. So this is from The Hill, which I think is pretty relatively down the middle. They pretty much just cover stuff that happens in Washington, D.C. I mean, I'm sure they probably lean a little bit more to the left, but they're one of the ones that's more in the middle. So the title here is "The State Department Voices Concerns Over All-Male Taliban Government." Imagine that. The United States State Department is concerned because the Taliban is led by all men. Can you say you're surprised that the group of people that didn't allow women to literally leave the house until like maybe 7 years ago doesn't have any women in their government leadership?
That can't be right, right?
Yeah, no, it has to be. It has to be wrong. They have to have probably. You know what? They probably have multiple women. We just don't know about it.
Everyone knows the Middle East is famous for their good treatment of women, right?
Yeah, and their inclusion.
Yeah.
They're very inclusive of everyone with dissenting opinions.
Yeah, like they definitely don't like beat women for showing their face in public.
No, definitely not.
They definitely let them drive cars.
Yep.
They're definitely allowed to vote. I assume the same goes for Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia, right? Like same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I forget which one it was, whether it was Saudi Arabia or the UAE, but both of those are pretty developed. UAE definitely is very developed. I mean, that is where Dubai is, which is the richest city in the entire world. I think it was the UAE, though, still didn't allow women to obtain a driver's license until like 2016. So you have the richest city in the entire world that has the world's tallest building. It's got all kinds of crazy technology. Everyone drives a fucking Ferrari. Like if you drive a Maserati there, you're poor. Like it's wild. And they just let women vote 5 years ago. But yeah, we're concerned that the Taliban doesn't have any women in their government leadership.
I don't know. I mean, that can't be right, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the best part. So the article goes on to say a State Department spokesperson said in a statement shared with The Hill that although the Taliban, quote, has presented this as a caretaker cabinet, the U.S. will judge the Taliban by its actions, not words. We have made clear our expectation that the Afghan people deserve an inclusive government, the spokesperson added. Okay. Well, how fucking out of touch can you be? Like, they're saying, well, the Taliban told us this was going to be a caretaker. They said they were going to be nice about this. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yep. I'm sure they did. Because, they told you to get out of their country and you did. So they probably don't fucking respect you at all. Oh, you guys are like on the way out the door, U.S. government. Oh yeah, you guys, when you take over the government, you're gonna make sure like you're inclusive and have like women and shit, right? Yeah. You're good. This is a hard out of August 31st, though. If you guys aren't gone by August 31st, we're gonna start. We can't make any promises that people might start dying if they're still here. But yeah. We'll be really inclusive with our government. Yeah, you got it. Just make sure you're gone by August 31st. Just don't forget. Like, what? And now that statement right there, we have made clear our expectation that the Afghan people deserve an inclusive government. Listen, motherfucker, you just spent 20 fucking years in that country. And now you just bailed on all of it. And you have the balls to sit there and say, we have expectations about how they should run their government.
It's hilarious.
The time for you to be involved with how they run their government was 19 years ago. You just spent the last 20 years propping up essentially what was a fake government. There was no fight as soon as the military left. It was like, all right, yeah, cool. All right, U.S. military's gone. All right, well, I guess the Taliban's in charge now. I'm not the president anymore. The president that we installed just took a fucking helicopter and pieced. But yeah, we're going to sit here and be like, we have expectations of these people. Get fucked. You're fucking assholes.
So a few minutes ago, Breaking 911 released a statement from Trump.
Oh, this is great. I can't wait for this.
I'm gonna read it. So if the story of, quote, dumbass General Mark Milley, the same field leader who engineered the worst withdrawal from a country, Afghanistan, in U.S. history, leaving behind many dead and wounded soldiers, many American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the newest and most sophisticated military equipment in the world, and our country's reputation is true, then I assume he would be tried for treason, in that he would have been dealing with his Chinese counterpart behind the president's back and telling China that he would be giving them notification of, quote, an attack. Can't do that, exclamation point. The good news is that the story is fake news concocted by a weak and ineffective general, together with two authors who I refuse to give an interview to because they write fiction, not fact. I like that he defined that for us.
Yeah.
Action should be taken immediately against Milley and the better generals of our military, of which we have many, should get involved so that another Afghanistan disaster never happens again. Remember, I was the one who took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. Milley said it couldn't be done, exclamation point. For the record, I never even thought of attacking China, and China knows that. The people that fabricated the story are sick and demented. The people who printed are just as bad. In fact, I'm the only president in decades who didn't get the U.S. into a war, a well-known fact that's seldom reported.
So that's pretty good, and I'll actually get to that in a second. I have that on the list too to cover because that just came down today, actually.
I do love though. He just straight up first sentence, dumbass General Mark Milley or whatever.
Yes. Yep. That's awesome. President Mean tweets. He's get ready. 2024. He's coming back. The sequel, bigger, badder, and uncut.
He ain't coming back.
All right. So then this one pairs with it. This is another article. This is from the Daily News. The title here is the Taliban are, quote, disappointed with the equipment left behind by the U.S. forces because it's unusable. This is an article that was printed in a legitimate newspaper, the New York Daily News. They ran with this story. They said, "Hey guys, we think it's important for the United States public to know that the Taliban is disappointed with the equipment that we left behind because some of it is unusable."
Why do you think we fucking left it behind?
Like, again, how fucking stupid can people be?
So I know you use the example of like an Apache helicopter.
Yeah.
Do you think we would leave a fucking brand new, fully functioning, state-of-the-art Apache helicopter over there? And you think we would leave the keys in there?
Yeah. So the funny thing about a lot of military craft is there's no keys. There's no such thing as keys.
Listen, sorry. Do you think we would leave the ability to just start it up and take it over there? Obviously,
yeah.
No
keys. Certainly some of it would be ideally destroyed, but I mean, it is a fact that we left behind a lot of stuff that is usable. I mean, they flew a fucking US helicopter over the city, like with that fucking guy that was dangling off. Like that was a US helicopter. So like that one still worked, obviously.
What they do, Scarface style? Hanging guy from the helicopter?
No, so that someone posted that video. They originally thought it was like a Scarface move, but so this is actually even more hilarious. This is like the Taliban is funny now. The Taliban is great comedy, actually. Who knew, right? The Taliban is comedy. So so that video gets posted and everyone is flipping out. They're like, oh my God, they pulled a Scarface. They hung someone who they don't agree with from a helicopter. This is deplorable, all this, yada, 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 down the line. Well, come to find out, they didn't actually hang someone from the helicopter and fly it around like Scarface. What had happened was there were some flags on the top of a building that needed to be replaced with the Taliban flag. So they thought it would be a good idea to hook someone up to a harness and then use said helicopter to lift them to change the flags. Because apparently ladders don't exist in the Middle East. Must be an OSHA thing.
OSHA, is this okay?
Yeah. So because the social media was flipping out about that for a couple of days, and then come to find out it wasn't a Scarface move. It was literally they were trying to change the flags on the top of the building.
Man, it's just good efficiency.
Yeah, so let's use a fucking $12 million Apache helicopter.
I don't think they care how much it costs.
Well, yeah, I know. I think it's just hilarious that they used that piece of equipment to change a flag on the top of a building.
Maybe someone will clean the windows with it next.
Yeah. So that's the Taliban for you. They're upset that some of the stuff we left behind was inoperable. The stuff that we did leave behind that was operational was used for weird things. And they said, yeah, we'll make sure our government is inclusive. Now get the fuck out of here. And now it's not inclusive. Big surprise.
Big upset. Huge upset.
Yeah, big surprise on that one. Imagine that the U.S. government was under the impression that the Taliban was going to be like, upstanding citizens. It's good.
Yeah. Politicians are cons, so they probably believe it.
These are the people that have decision-making power in this country. They just got duped by a group of people that these two dickheads sitting here on this Zoom call knew what the outcome was going to be. But the United States government was like, yeah, I think we can trust them.
Well, they said it would be inclusive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they told us, they gave us their word. Obviously, that's good for something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for a ton.
Yeah. You fucking cocksuckers. So,
Fucking jealous.
yeah, this is a great segue into the next thing that just came out today, actually, and it ties in nicely with the Donald Trump press release that you just read. So, as it happens, General Milley, who was the
dumbass in the
dumbass Mark Milley, was the or is might still be the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, which just means that he's the top general of all the generals that meet about military shit. I don't know. So
is that what Petraeus was?
I would say probably, yeah, I think so.
He was pretty good. I remember.
Yeah. So chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley. There's an article that came out today saying that he had a secret phone call, two secret phone calls with his counterpart, whoever, like I said, the equivalent of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in China, about a potential attack on the Chinese from the United States government. As it goes in this article, it says Mark Milley made two phone calls to Chinese officials in fear that Trump would create a conflict with the communist nation. A new book has claimed. So in the book, it was authored by Bob Woodward, which, Bob Woodward is a pretty legitimate reporter. That's the guy that, pretty sure that's the guy that broke Watergate, right? Bob Woodward.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so. And it says Robert Costa. I don't know if that's Bob Costa, like that, like the news guy, or if they're calling him. Oh no, that's Bob Costas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're talking about the NBC sports guy?
Yeah, no. So it's Robert Costa. There we go. So it is not Bob Costas. It's not the guy that only shows up to cover the Olympics now. So Bob Woodward and Robert Costa came out with this book, and they apparently had talked to Mark Milley, and he told them that he had made two secret phone calls to General Li Zhucheng of the People's Liberation Army. The book alleges that the phone calls took place prior to the 2020 presidential election on October 30th of 2020 and 2 days after the January 6th Capitol riot on January 8th, 2021. According to the book, Milley contacted Zhu Chang after he reviewed intelligence that suggested Chinese officials believed the U.S. was planning an attack on China. This is a quote from Milley. General Lee, I want to assure you that the American government is stable and everything is going to be okay. We are not going to attack you or conduct any kinetic operations against you. The book excerpt in the Washington Post also stated that Milley told General Zhu Chang that he would warn him in advance should America decide to attack. Oh, this is the actual quote. General Lee, you and I have known each other now for 5 years. If we're going to attack, I'm going to call you ahead of time. It's not going to be a surprise. So, dumbass General Mark Milley, if this is true, if he made two secret phone calls to the Chinese government to tell them that if there were to be an attack, he would call them first and give them a heads up. I don't know. I'm not the most learned man in the world, but like we say all the time, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's got to be a fucking witch. So this sounds a whole lot like treason to me.
Yeah, I mean, Isn't that kind of like what Benedict Arnold did? First traitor, tipped off the fucking country that about what we were doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like treason.
It sounds a whole fucking lot like treason to me.
Yeah,
Now,
but is
again,
it not treason though? Because the orange man tweets mean things.
well, yeah, no one would probably try him for treason because it was against Trump and Trump is bad. So it's good. This is going to be the narrative. Just wait. Thank God we had General Milley to have the foresight to avoid conflict with a nation that is so great as China. Oh man, Donald Trump was so bad. Oh, he was going to start a war with China, but Mark Milley came and saved the day. Yeah, hey, guess what, dickheads? He committed treason. It doesn't matter. Treason is treason. You know what I mean? It's like
whether you like the president of this country or not, when you work against it, that's treason.
Yeah, it's like the same idea that if someone goes around, this would theoretically make them a serial killer. So if there were a serial killer that only killed pedophiles, I would shake the man's hand after he got arrested or before, whatever. If I knew who it was, I would shake his hand. I would also potentially donate to his bail if there was one. But he still committed murder. And the law says that if you commit murder, you have to go to jail. So he's got to go to jail. Like, we don't just look at him and be like, this guy killed 16 people, but they were really bad people. So we're going to let it slide. Like, no, you can't do that. Like I said,
it's like,
am I mad that those 16 pedophiles would be dead in a theoretical world? No. Like, if I ran into the guy, would I shake his hand? Yeah, I would. I'd buy him a beer too, but he's got to go to jail.
Yeah. And it's like, again, it's the same thing. Like, people forget that Hitler killed Hitler. Like,
yeah,
how bad could he have really been?
Yeah.
Everyone just wants it, but this is the thing. Everyone remembers that he killed 6 million innocent people.
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, might as well be, right? We just equate the Holocaust to General Milley.
No. We equated him to Hitler.
Ah, okay. All right. That's what it is. But yeah, no, if and again, that's if this is true. We don't know. I mean, Trump just came out in his statement and said it's not true. But I don't know what part of it he was saying wasn't true, if the entire thing wasn't true. Because if that's the case, why would they put it in a book? It's not like an article. If you put out a news article where you can then print a retraction and be like, hey, my bad. After I found more information, this is the truth. Like, you're not going to print a retraction in a book.
Dollar bills. If it's anti-Trump book, it'll sell.
Yeah. But like I said, also too, like Bob Woodward, I would imagine is, a relatively good journalist.
Dude, that went out the window. That went out the window in 2016.
Yeah.
Journalism basically died. So can we just pretend it is true for a second?
Yeah.
And then can you pretend that you're on the other end of that phone call? So you're in China.
Yeah.
And you got this fucking guy from America calling and be like, hey man, word is Trump might want to attack. And if we're going to do it, I'm going to give you a call first because, we're cool, right? And then on the other end, it's like, yeah, man, we're cool. You just let us know when that attack might come.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be ready for it. AKA, we'll blow your fucking ass off the planet.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he goes to his fucking Chinese buddies and is like, yeah, hey, so if I get that fucking call, push the red button.
Exactly.
It's fucking on.
Yeah, because so everything that we just talked about in this last, half hour, makes the United States look like the world's biggest fucking pussies ever. At one point, we were the most feared country in the world. Everyone knew, hey man, you don't fuck with them because they'll come fuck your shit up. We had one attack on our soil back in 1945, 44, whenever it was, 44. And we literally dropped 2 atomic bombs on civilians. We didn't give a fuck. We didn't target military shit. We were like, I don't care. Take these 2 fucking atom bombs and drop them wherever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Just hit the island.
Yeah, just make sure it lands on the land somewhere. And we blew fucking towns to smithereens so bad that you still can't go there. You still can't go there. Like, there's still shit that has like 3 heads. There's like cows with fucking 3 heads, and like, it's weird. Like, it's just because we fucked shit up that bad because someone attacked us in a place that wasn't even really ours. Let's, to be honest, it's Hawaii. We've talked about this before in the show. Like, Hawaii is so far away. How is it even part of the United States? It's like a 5-hour flight from California. Like, what the fuck? And California is a 5-hour flight from here. It's literally halfway around the fucking world.
Yeah, but it's like if we staked any claim to Antarctica, and it's like a German boat bumps into one of the fucking glaciers by accident.
Yeah, then like, we just nuke Germany. We have to
go to war with Germany now.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Someone attacked us in a place that's like really fucking far away, and we just dropped nukes on them literally anywhere we wanted. We were just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, do you want us to try and aim for the military base? Nah, just fucking drop it. Fuck them. We got to send a message. But now we're like, hey, China, like, if we're going to attack you, like, we'll call you and give you a heads up. Cause like we're cool, right? Like, we're friends. Like, we do that for each other.
Yeah. And China sits there. Yeah. No, we're cool. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
no, we're definitely cool.
Meanwhile, China's like, yeah, these fucking douchebags, we have them eating out of the palm of our hands. We own all of their Hollywood movie studios. We own their fucking top military general, apparently, because he's calling us.
They own the NBA.
Yeah. They own pretty much everything. They own a bunch of fucking real estate in the country now. And it's like, yeah. And then on the other side of it, here we are. Hey, Taliban, you guys are going to be good, right? When we leave? You're going to be good? Okay, cool. Thanks. Like, we're not going to come back or anything, though. So, like, just give us your word that you're going to be good. Here we are. Like, if fucking those guys that were around in the 40s were around now, they would shit themselves. Like, well, not just because they're old. Because they'd be like 130, they would be shitting themselves anyway, but they would be so fucking appalled. Like, could you imagine what Eisenhower would have to say about this if he were alive today? He'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? You guys are pussies.
So the only saving grace out of all of this is that there is one aspect where America can still potentially fucking kick ass, and it is the military. So
yeah,
if the military's going somewhere, they're probably gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah. Or they're gonna take their sweet ass time and take 20 years to do something.
Yeah, but if you send them to fucking this is the thing, you send them to Afghanistan. Like, what the fuck were they gonna do in Afghanistan? Make sandcastles? Like, what the fuck were they gonna do?
Find Bin Laden. There's all this stuff that came out that's been coming out now since we're not there anymore. And the people that were in are now, long gone. Allegedly, we knew where Bin Laden was, and we asked for authorization to like go get him. Something to do with Tora Bora, in either Afghanistan or Pakistan. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people talk about it recently. So allegedly, from what I've gleaned of other people talking, was we knew we had Bin Laden pinned down to a location in Tora Bora in, the early to mid 2000s. And we were like, hey, let's go fucking get this guy. And the military was told no. So the tinfoil hat theory is just as everything else is in the world, as we're seeing with vaccines and all that shit. Everything is driven by money. So for a similar reason as to why no one is talking about a cure for cancer, but everyone's talking about ways to treat cancer. There's no money in getting bin Laden quickly. So that's why it took 10 years to get him. And then when we got him in 2012 or 2011, whenever that was, we stayed there for another 10 years. So there's a lot of like shitty shit that's coming out right now, but it makes sense. Like if you stop and think about it, like the way the world works, the way everything goes now, it's all money. It's all comes down to money, and corporations, all that shit.
All right, I got one last piece of optimism that you can strike down if you'd like.
Yeah. All right.
Raytheon's a big company, right?
Yes.
So if they develop some fucking massive missiles, they're going to want to put them off. So if it comes down to it, we can rely the same way we can rely on big pharma to do their thing now. I think we can rely on big blow up company to push the government to be like, no, I think we really need to fucking send some missiles over.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's also part of the reason, because the other thing that's coming out now that we're out and we're out of Afghanistan and the Taliban is taking over, doing all kinds of Taliban shit again. I've heard some people be like, oh my God, we're going to get another terrorist attack. Like people are posting all this shit. Like, oh, there's going to be another terrorist attack. One, fuck you for bringing that kind of energy. And two, I don't see it. I just don't see it as a possibility. Because the other thing about the Taliban is, the people that run it now, it's not the same people that ran it back in, 1999, 2001 and all that shit. Like the people that run it now, they're actually like really fucking rich. And they enjoy being really fucking rich. And they're also part of the heroin trade. So if they were to attack or sanction an attack against the United States, especially on U.S. soil again, you can probably kiss all of their fucking heroin money goodbye. Because we would have to retaliate, and it would just get us right back over there. And I don't think they want that. Like, I think there's like a mutual understanding, like, hey, we really hate you because you fucked up our country and you were here for 20 years. And we hate everything you stand for, actually. But we don't want you back here. So I don't know. I guess we'll just go like, I don't know, start fucking with Europe.
Yeah, I mean,
at least for the near future, like 10 years from now, I don't know. I can't say that there's never going to be an attack, but in the next like 3 to 5 years, I don't see it, because I think that like the guys, like I said, the guys that lead the Taliban right now, like being rich and like not being blown up.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like you had said, the United States has a lot of companies that are really good at making stuff that blows up. And we're really good at using it too. So
yeah, again, it's all about whose pockets we can line, and fucking the weapons makers they'll be ready.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. So I think we're good there, but and then the other thing, this is actually kind of old now too, but this has been on my list for a while, and it ties in nicely to this whole theme of this episode. China passed a law a couple weeks ago now that kids are limited to 3 hours of online gaming per week. And what it breaks down to is 1 hour per day on Friday. I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't know exactly the specifics, but kids get 1 hour I think it's kids under the age of 18, get 1 hour. We'll call it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week to play. Now, this is online gaming, because when this story first broke, because headlines are stupid, the headlines all read, China bans video games throughout the country. And everyone's like, oh my God, whatever. No. When you actually read and learn, what they did was they banned online gaming. So your Fortnite, your Call of Duty Warzone, your Battlefield, all those games, all the games you play online, like your whatever Madden, fucking Dynasty, whatever the fuck it's called, which they don't have over there, I would imagine, because they don't have football. But you know what? Like they can't play online games. They can still play offline, however many hours they want, but the government has regulated them there. This, in conjunction with the government, has now released this other thing that they're trying to get rid of effeminate men from celebrity and stardom and all this shit. So this is interesting to me. I find this super interesting for a couple different reasons. So also China released its one-child policy a few years ago now. So they are no longer under the one-child policy. They ran into a lot of fucking problems with that because now their population is set up to dwindle because they have a fuck ton of people that are like really old and not a lot of people that are young.
Hey, remember from the gym, that's why COVID exists.
Yeah.
COVID was designed to kill all the old people.
Yeah. So a couple things here. China stops their one-child policy. They're starting this thing, this campaign, if you would, against effeminate men and trying to make males more manly. They're like legit. They've come out and stated this. Like the government has said, we want our men to be more manly. And now you pair that with them banning or limiting like video game use. They're trying to set up like strong men of the future, is what I would imagine. Now, where this gets interesting to me is we all know there's a lot of international fucking propaganda. Like it's obvious, like it was proven that leading into the 2016 election that there were like fake Russian bots that were posting on Facebook and they would set up these fake things and all this stuff. Everyone has talked about it. Joe Rogan talks about it all the time. People, it's like a very well-known thing. So I'm wondering, because China is typically really good, or they seem to me, not like I fucking know them that well, but they seem to me like they'd be really good at playing the long game on something. So I'm wondering, now this is a tinfoil hat moment, that if over the last, let's call it decade, they've been feeding, international propaganda to the United States via social media about, I don't know, something maybe called, what would we call it here? Toxic masculinity, maybe. And we try and make our men less manly, right? Because they're more apt to fall in line, right? They're more agreeable on that personality scale. They have less disagreeableness. What else? Probably want to prop up, an average looking body for dudes, right? Maybe call it something catchy. Maybe like a dad bod, right? Yeah, I glorify that. Then, really just go after men, kind of blame them for everything. Get people really hating men being manly, dudes doing dude stuff, all the while in your own country, You're setting it up the complete opposite way because you realize you had a fucking problem that you don't have a lot of young people, and the young people you do have are kind of giant, huge fucking pussies. So because China is communist, their government controls everything, so they can actually do that. A little different than here. People are like, oh, toxic masculinity, down with the patriarchy, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, there's not really a ton you can do because you have to be able to pass laws and vote because people vote and all that shit. Communist countries, you don't get that. Whatever the government says is what goes.
It sounds so good on paper.
Yeah. No one's ever just done it the right way, how it's supposed to be done. Trust me, it'll work. Oh yeah, and also too, what else do you think they would want to prop up? Communism, socialism. What is all the people on the left really, really pushing now for? Would it be potentially socialist and communist views?
Probably not. No.
So again, that's my little tinfoil hat theory, but I think that China is a lot more involved with all of this than people are willing to let on. This whole down with the patriarchy, toxic masculinity is bad, all this shit, communism is good, all that. I think it all stems from China. Now, I think all they did was planted the seeds, because this is how fucking stupid people are, especially in this country in general, is make a couple, propaganda posts, maybe, post some things on Facebook, social media, all this stuff. They just kind of like stoke the fire, and then you let the people take the rest of it from there. So, like I said, I don't think this is like China is like a fucking marionette, making the fucking puppets dance or anything. I think they're more like a gardener that planted seeds and now they're growing.
Well, you heard it here first. The U.S. is China.
Yeah.
According to you.
The U.S. is a puppet for China.
Like that.
But I mean, you think about it, like all in the meantime, they own a bunch of fucking Hollywood studios. Like what is the biggest or one of the biggest influences on general culture is movies, Hollywood, right? TV. Like it was a big deal when Will and Grace first came out in the 90s because it was the first TV show where the main character was gay. And then like slowly after that, people were like, oh yeah, I know someone that's gay. And they only show up to my house twice a month to try and turn me. And my name's not Gary Jeffries. But like, it's let's let's involve Gary Jeffries. But no, seriously, it's like TV and movies have a lot to do with culture and people's opinions on things. So that's also run by China too. So there you go. I don't know, man. You just give me enough time and I'll be like fucking Pepe Sylvia out here.
You sound crazy, man.
Yeah. I feel crazy.
I feel crazy. Good. We're all on the same page then.
Yeah. Got it. All right. He's lost it. So do you want to cover the thing you sent me, or is that going to be your final thought?
Yep. Let's talk about that right now.
All right.
So Massachusetts has activated the National Guard. Now, if you remember, last time Massachusetts activated the National Guard was after George Floyd died. There were protests, riots, looting, mass gatherings.
Typically, when the state has to activate the National Guard, it's for bad reasons.
Yep.
Whether there's a natural disaster or there's some sort of like, massive protests or, there's a danger, right?
Yep. Well, there's another bad thing happening now. There's a shortage of school bus drivers.
Wow.
So, Massachusetts has activated the National Guard due to the shortage of bus drivers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe stop paying people to not fucking work. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that actually ends this week.
Oof. Rude awakening for many.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe let people fucking work. Like let them work.
Yeah.
But nope. We're gonna make work super fucking stupid, super fucking restricted. Like, dude, half the bus drivers that I ever fucking rode on a school bus with, I guarantee are not US citizens.
No.
Like, I'm pretty sure their status in this country is not what you would call legal. Like,
yeah. Yeah. And the
just-
ones that were probably shit faced.
yeah, and now, yeah, like Bob D. Do you ever have
Yeah.
Bob D?
No.
He's a fucking old guy with like 3 teeth. He'd fucking sit there and be like, yeah, I'm gonna bring you guys back to base if you guys don't fucking stop throwing shit everywhere. Like, hey, what the fuck? Brought us to the police station one day. Like, and then we had Shaq. We were sitting there throwing fucking, we had a massive paper ball fight. And he's screaming at us to stop throwing basketballs at everyone. Like, what the fuck? So now I guarantee you, with this whole vaccine controversy, whatever, these people ain't coming back to drive a bus.
No.
Because either they're not getting vaccinated or they're not going to show you or whatever. You got that problem. You got the issue that people have been being paid to not work, so you can't find any help. I don't fucking know. The National Guard. Imagine that. You sign up, you enroll in the National Guard. You're gonna help at home. Like at home, the countries and the states, they need you. You know, it's not safe out there. We got big protests. You know, there's a hurricane's gonna hit fucking New Orleans. We need the National Guard. Oh, and then Massachusetts can't get people to drive the bus. So you're gonna drive a bus now.
Yeah.
Sick,
yeah,
dude.
you drive buses now. Cool.
Yeah, you drive buses so a bunch of snotty fucking kids can throw pencils at cars out the window.
Yeah. Yep.
Good use of resources.
Yeah, that's awesome. How fucking pissed do you think people in the National Guard are right now?
Like, really? I'm gonna drive a fucking bus? Like,
Yeah,
really?
awesome. I'm gonna drive a fucking school bus. Sick.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Like, I'm gonna drive a school bus in Bridgewater that stops at every fucking door too. Awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's fucking I mean, we've ranted about that before. That's ridiculous. But
Not
one
bus
bus
stops.
stop in the neighborhood, you have everyone get there, and then you get on with your fucking day. There's no need to stop at every single fucking house on the street.
So now, not only that, so now our bus drivers are, I mean, it's a branch of the military, right?
Yeah.
So people who are members of our military are now driving the bus.
Relegated to driving a school bus.
Now let's talk about, you know, the cost of all this.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
I'm going to
I don't
go
know what
out on
bus
a
driver
limb
makes.
and say that, you know, if a school bus driver makes $17 an hour, someone who works at the National Guard probably does not make $17 an hour.
No. And never mind that they get whatever pension for the rest of their lives and free college. Like,
Yeah.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Like, it's about time for people to go back to fucking work, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it blows my fucking mind that we're still doing this. I can't believe that people still can't find help.
Oh, dude, what do you mean? Delta's here. Delta variant's bad.
Well, I'd say.
Have you heard
like,
about the Mu variant? And
like-
Lambda's coming too.
Lambda, lambda, lambda.
Yeah, I heard Kappa was pretty bad.
Sigma pi was pretty bad.
Yeah, Sigma Chi is probably the worst.
I will say, dude, if there's a Sigma pi variant, fuck me.
Yeah, imagine there's so many variants that they have to re-up the alphabet.
They
So
have to
it's
go to
like,
fraternities.
yeah. It's like alpha beta. Oh, dude, what variant are we on now? Oh, we're theta zeta.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna go. Hey, maybe this is big Greek. No, not Greek. Latin. Big Latin. Latin wants to be involved again, so we're using Latin letters to name these fucking things.
Well, no, it's Greek.
Wait, because that is Greek. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not Latin. Like, so this is just big Greek, Greek language.
Yeah, Greece is pissed that they went bankrupt and the whole world shit on them like 10 years
now
ago.
Everyone's gonna start using their language again.
Yeah. Oh, this is the delta. What happened to the beta and the gamma?
Well, you don't want the gamma. The rays will turn into
Yeah. But seriously, like I wonder, like where are all these variants? Like, where's the pi variant? Where's the rho?
So,
where's the epsilon?
So I know what you're doing right now. This might make you more mad. They've gone through them all.
No, I know.
Like someone made a breakdown of them.
Because you don't get to the mu variant without also getting through epsilon and rho and pi and sigma. Like, well, I think sigma is after mu, but still, like you don't get to mu without having the fucking 17 letters that come before it.
Yeah. There's a variant for every letter. That's why they did this.
Yeah. It's stupid. It's so fucking stupid. You know what else has variants? The flu. You know what they call them? The year they came out. Or the year they were like killed the most people. Like there's the 1968 variant of the flu. And there's the 1918 variant of the flu.
You know what else happened in 1968, right? Woodstock. I wonder if there's a connection.
Yeah. I was going to say Kennedy. Wasn't that
I don't know where you're
I think it was Robert Kennedy. JFK was 1963, but I think RFK was 68. No, well, maybe he was, but I know MLK was 68 too, I think. 1968 was a tough year. It had an awful flu and potentially two major people were assassinated.
Woodstock was in 69. Fuck,
yeah.
I bet.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever.
So everyone's fucking stupid.
I'm fucking stupid.
Do you want to start wrapping this shit up?
We can wrap it up. Oh, 69 was the Hong Kong flu.
Yeah.
Why didn't we call this one the
I don't know. We've been through everything already. Like we've had swine flu, we've had bird flu, we've had SARS, MERS. We've done it all before. We've never had any reaction like this. And everyone just forgets. Like everyone thinks this is the worst fucking thing ever. Dude, AIDS is way worse than this. Like HIV and AIDS.
Dude, I'm telling you, bring on airborne Ebola.
Yeah.
And you want people to really fucking care about something?
We didn't shut shit down in the 80s because of AIDS. We weren't like, we got to close all the Dunkin' Donuts because we don't want to get AIDS.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, we got to shut down all the Dunkin' Donuts because we don't want to get the sniffles.
Well, you don't
and
have
a
to
really
shut it
bad
down.
cough.
You don't have to shut it down, but you can't stand near someone inside, and you can't pay with cash because cash does it.
Yeah. Even though we know this doesn't live on surfaces.
And if you're drinking, it's cool, and eating, it's also cool. You don't need to cover your face.
Yeah.
And if you're with someone for 14 minutes, no problem. With
and a
someone
disease
for 15 minutes, we got
that we know almost with 100% certainty spreads indoors and does not spread outdoors. What do we do? Well, we have to make everyone go indoors. We have to make them stay inside. We have to close everything so they can't go out anywhere and they have to stay inside.
Yeah,
It's
obviously,
stupid.
dude.
It
Pay
is
the full
fucking
attention.
stupid.
Pay attention, will you? Fuck.
Like there was a study, or there, like, I think it was like a meta study maybe, in China. They had like thousands of confirmed cases, and I think it was like maybe tens or hundreds of thousands, whatever they had. There was like 7 people that were confirmed to get it outdoors. So you have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people that get it. 7 got it from an outdoor thing.
Oh, 7 too many, dude.
Yeah. And then there's people that are saying, like, it could be an indoor bathroom at an outdoor event. It could be where, like shit like that. So like there's very strong evidence that shows that this does not spread outdoors. So what do? We got to keep everyone inside.
Yeah.
Which was funny. I heard someone talk about this, that so cases were really bad in the Northeast, right? Last winter, obviously, because it's fucking cold. And where were cases not so bad? Texas, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, right? From like January to like April, everyone was like,
did you see when it got bad in Texas and Arizona?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting to. So
this happened.
What is it about the Northeast from like January to April? It's really fucking cold, right?
The weather's awesome.
So people are inside. So the Northeast gets fucking hammered from January to April, and everyone's like, "Oh, dude, you got to be like Florida. You got to be like Texas. You got to keep everything open." Well, it's beautiful in Texas and Florida from January to April. And then what happens from May to August? The cases in the Northeast plummet. And why is that? Well, because the weather's fucking beautiful and everyone's outside. And we finally got rid of restrictions for like a day and a half, and then they came back. But then what happened in Texas and Florida and Alabama, Louisiana from May to August? Cases fucking skyrocketed. Why is that? Because it gets too hot and you can't be outside. So everyone went inside in the air conditioning and their cases went up. Dude, it's so fucking weird. It's like, I'm seeing a pattern, but it can't be true because it's not what Fauci said. So I don't know. I must be just noticing a pattern that's not there.
Well, so obviously people have their hot takes at the gym, and just to be a dickhead, they're going on and on and on. I look at them, I go, even if we had 100% vaccination rate, we can't move past this, right? And I just walk, and I just continue walking.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh my God, I know, right?" And I'm like, "See, this isn't how it should be. This is not how it should fucking be."
No.
Because I'm not wrong. If we were 100% vaccination rate, we would still have COVID issues in this country.
Oh, yeah.
People are too fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yep. People suck. I hate everybody. And I hate most things.
You know what I fucking hate? And this is my final thought.
What?
I fucking hate that Norm MacDonald died today.
Yeah. Me too.
I like Norm MacDonald.
He was one of the best, one of the GOATs, one of the greatest to ever do it in the comedy world. He was just very original in everything that he does.
And even the way he did it too. I don't know.
It was just so like deadpan.
Yes. It's almost like he wasn't even doing comedy. He was just like,
yeah. But that's what made it even better, and that's what made it even funnier. Is that like he would say these like ridiculously dumb things, and he would just keep a straight face. And then someone would
Yeah.
be like, "Oh no, come on, like you're joking, right?" And he'd be like, "No," and then he'd just keep it going. Like that, his style and his comedy was incredible.
Yeah. And so Turd Ferguson is honestly one of my favorite bits. All
That's not my
iterations.
name.
It's not my name. Turd Ferguson. Yeah, what do you want? You buzzed in. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Nah, that's just your theory. Like Turd Ferguson was great.
Yeah.
And probably one of the most underrated movies in the entire world is Dirty Work. That
Yes.
movie is fucking awesome. And it's not as popular as a lot of movies, but it is so fucking good with Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang.
Yeah.
It is so fucking funny. And there are so many subtle things about that movie that you get, like, most people won't even be able to pick up on. I've seen it like 1,000 times. And there's still stuff that's funny about it.
Yeah.
It is so fucking well done. And most people don't even know it exists.
You know what's creepy though is Amy said this to me earlier when I got home from work. Last night, Billy Madison was on TV, and it was the scene right after when they were like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, we're now all dumber. Like, you're awarded 0 points. May God have mercy on your soul." It was like right after that, and there's the two guys that stand up in the audience that start to yell like after the dude with the hair comes in with a gun.
Yeah.
And one of them is Norm Macdonald. Like Norm is in that movie as like the random people throughout. And I go, holy shit, he looks so young. And I looked it up, and I obviously like Billy Madison came out like a really fucking long time ago. But I was like, I showed it to Amy, and I was like, look at Norm Macdonald then and look at him now. And I was like, holy shit. Like, it was a quick little conversation, but it was literally last night. And then this morning, like this afternoon, it comes out that he died. And like I said, I got home from work, and she was like, dude, how weird was that we were just talking about Norm Macdonald?
What
I
the
know.
fuck?
I know.
The fuck kind of shit are you conjuring up over there?
I pulled a Beetle and Zoe.
You guys fucking killed
Hasn't Zoe done that like 3 times?
I forget who we killed.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's done it like more than once. Like, oh, that person, that person's dead. Like, no, Zoe, he's still alive. And then like 2 weeks later, the person dies.
Fuck, man. That sucked.
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed. But of course, leave it to all people, like obviously anyone in the public eye. Leave it to someone to be fucking sitting there with like crippling cancer for 9 fucking years. Didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
And then just went.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that he has been fighting cancer for 9 years. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
No one had any idea. It was him and Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Were both like, they had been battling cancer for years, and somehow no one knew. No one figured it out.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know he fell out, like he fell out of the public eye too, because he wasn't on SNL anymore. He wasn't doing any movies.
Yeah.
He was just kind of making like really weird Twitter posts about gambling. Yeah. Like they were strange.
Yeah, yeah. He would have some really weird Twitter posts.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, like fuck me. Because I like seriously, Dirty Work is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And I know no one's seen it, and it sucked. Like, everyone go watch Dirty Work. Out of respect.
That's your homework.
Yeah, out of respect, go watch Dirty Work.
Yeah. All right. Well, R.I.P. Norm Macdonald. My final thought is I smoked my first brisket the other day on Sunday.
that
I
what we're
think it
calling
was.
it now?
Yeah. So I rubbed it the day before. I put it in gunpowder seasoning from grillyourassoff.com. Make sure you go to grillyourassoff.com. Use our promo code Sarcasm Pod for 15% off your entire order. They are the best, hands down, bar none, company when it comes to meat seasonings. So go check them out. They got everything you could ever want. They also have other shit like aprons, mugs, all kinds of t-shirts, hats, funny shit. Grillyourassoff.com, promo code Sarcasm Pod for 15% off your entire order. That's grillyourassoff.com, promo code Sarcasm Pod for 15% off your entire order. Well, so I rubbed it the day before. So on Saturday, I let it sit overnight. I popped it on in the morning. Now, granted, it was just I think it was just the flat. I got it from Market Basket. Like I just happened to be like walking by the meat counter and I saw it was like just over 2 pounds. It was like 2 and change. And I think it was just the flat. I think they took the point off. But I was like, fuck it, whatever, I'll get it. I think it was like 17, 18 bucks.
Yeah, it's usually $5.99 a pound, $6.99 a pound, something like that.
Yeah. So, like I said, it was like 2 and change. So I get it. I do the whole thing. I put it on. I tossed it on about like 8:30 Sunday morning, and like 3 hours in, I'm having a fucking panic attack. So I'm doing it on the Traeger. So I have the thermometer like that's plugged into it, and it's just sitting in the brisket. And 3 hours in, the fucking temperature. So you're supposed to pull it at 160 degrees and then wrap it. I've read a bunch of different recipes. Everyone was like, pull it at 160, wrap it in some way, shape, or form, whether it's butcher paper or aluminum foil. And some people put beef broth in it, whatever, however you want to do it. What I ended up doing was I pulled it at 160. I sprayed it with beef broth. Then I wrapped it in butcher paper. And then I made sure to spray the butcher paper like every half hour or so with the beef broth. But after like 3 hours, it was already at like almost 160. And I was like, how in the fuck like is this possible? So I texted Nick, shout out to Nick, friend of the show, because he made a brisket not that long ago. And I was like, and it took him like literally all day. I think he got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to put it on a smoker. And I was like, hey man, how big was your brisket? And it was like over 10 pounds. And I was like, all right, cool. That makes me feel better. And it also makes way more fucking sense as to why this thing is, heating so quickly. Well, come to find out, I'm just a fucking loser. Because once it hit the 160, probably after like 3.5 hours, I pulled it, wrapped it, sprayed it, put it back on. The temperature dropped down to like 150 and then got back up to like 160 and stayed at 160 for like 3 hours. So all told, I think I pulled it at like 6:45 because we recorded at like 7:30. So I wanted to pull it with enough time to like let it sit, but also eat before we recorded on Sunday night. So I cheated a little bit in the last like 20 minutes. I put it up to, I turned the smoker up to like 350. Because I think it was at like 175. And again, everything that I was reading said you pull it somewhere around like 195 and then, wrap it in tin foil and let it sit for X amount of time. So it was at 175 and this was like 6 o'clock, 6:15. And I'm like, fuck, man, we got to eat this. I'm turning it up. got it up to temperature, pulled it at like 6:45, wrapped it, whatever, go to eat it, and it was fucking delicious. I must say, I did a pretty good fucking job for not really knowing what I was doing.
So the thing that people get like kind of fucked up with is, yeah, these shits take a while, but you just leave them on for like a super long time.
Yeah.
It's really all you have to do.
Yeah.
So you had 2 pounds and cooked it for what, 8 hours?
Probably like 10, from 8:30 to roughly, we'll call it 7 o'clock.
Four. Yeah, okay, so 10.
Yeah, roughly 10 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a long time. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, like I said, it came. I was very surprised. Like, I was nervous I was gonna pull it out and it was gonna be like fucking cardboard. Because I was like, it's only 2 pounds. Like, why did it take so long? Then I read more about it. It's like an actual thing when you're cooking brisket. It's called the stall. And it usually happens somewhere around 150 to 160 degrees. And they say the stall can last anywhere from 1 to 4 hours, where the temperature literally doesn't move. They said depending on like the size of the brisket and the temperature you're cooking and what it's wrapped in, if it's wrapped, if it's not, all this shit. Like, they go into all the details. I read a lot about brisket on Sunday because I was like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, again, not knowing anything about cooking a brisket, I learned what the stall was. My stall lasted for about 3 hours at like 160. So that was the thing. And then I got through it, but like, it was good. Like, the smoke ring on it was fucking great. It was, I mean, on YouTube, I don't know if you can see, but it was like, it was pretty thick. It had a nice crust on the outside. The fat was rendered, like it was tender. It was just good. Like, if I had to rate it, I would give it probably like a 7.5. Like just below like good, like restaurant quality. Like, if you go to like the place we went to, Good Stuff in Bellingham, like
Yeah.
if you go to like a good reputable, like, good quality barbecue place, I'd say those probably start around 8, somewhere between 8 to 9. That place, wherever the fuck we were in Georgia, that was probably like a 9.5. Because we went there like 7 times.
Absolutely fucking annihilated.
But I would give this one like a 7.5. Like, it was good. Like, I thought it was really good. But I've had better is what it came down to.
How do we make it better? You need more time? What are we doing?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe more time. I don't know. I got to learn more about cooking brisket.
Well, there's always more time. There's always there's more time. You got injections that you can do.
Yeah, I did see that in a couple recipes.
Other than that, I mean, kind of just cooks itself, to be perfectly fucking honest.
Yeah, I mean, you really just have to follow the fucking recipe, like follow the instructions, like pull it at 160, wrap it, stick it back in, pull it at 195, wrap it in tin foil, let it sit for 10 to 30 minutes, and then cut it. Like, it's, I don't know, like the amount of time it takes in between there varies, but like pretty much everything I gathered was like your first pull is at 160 and then the done pull is 195. Like, however long it takes you to get from point A to point B is however long it takes. But like that's for all intents and purposes, like that's the outline of how to do it.
Yeah. It just takes forever.
Yeah. It just takes a really long fucking
like,
time.
A 2-pounder, I would have probably only cooked for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I probably would have, I don't know, because every time I cook brisket, I just cook it like ribs. I usually do 3 hours, 3 hours uncovered, 2 hours covered, 1 hour uncovered.
Yeah.
But I don't buy big briskets. So.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'll do it again. I will dabble as I'm expanding my meat smoking prowess here with the Traeger. And grillyourassoff.com.
I thought it was already top notch, but you specified with the Traeger.
Yeah, yeah. So don't forget grillyourassoff.com also. Promo code Sarcasm Pod, 15% off.
I've been using it I got my shit this week. Using it for a couple pork chops.
Yeah. I use it literally almost every single time I cook.
A lot of way to do it.
Yeah, I would say probably 9 times out of 10. I'm using Grill Your Ass Off. So that I believe is going to do it. So while we're on sponsors, I might as well also talk about mybookie.com. When this episode comes out, it's going to be Thursday, which is the first game of week 2, which is the Washington football team versus
Giants,
the New York football Giants. Under, take the under, whatever the number is, just pound the under on mybookie.com. Go to MyBookie and use our promo code Sarcasm Pod, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So mybookie.com, promo code Sarcasm Pod, doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. You deposit 500, they give you 500. There's your 1,000. If you want to be a fucking big dick swinging, you go in, you deposit 1,000, they give you another 1,000. Now you got 2. So that's how that works at mybookie.com, promo code Sarcasm Pod. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, give us a thumbs up, maybe leave us a comment below. Share your conspiracy theories. I covered a big China conspiracy in this episode. Tell me you agree. Tell me you don't agree. Share your own conspiracies, whatever. So keep spreading the word. Tell everybody you know about the show. Let's get the word out there. Let's grow. The organic growth really helps a lot too. The more you talk about the show, you more share it with your friends. Obviously, the more people are going to start to watch and listen. So subscribe wherever you're listening to. If you use Apple Podcasts, go to the iTunes store. Leave us 5 stars, write us a review over there. And you can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We are on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Our Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. Oh, also, the weekly NFL Pick'em should be live by the time this comes out on Thursday. Maybe. It should be, right? It usually is. Usually is by Thursday.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to make this week's. We have a snafu with DraftKings.
Oh, boy.
I can only make the next one that I can do on my account.
Yeah.
Isn't until October. So.
Oh, Jesus.
So I don't know why. I don't know what this is, but I'm just going to have you make the next one.
Yeah.
And then I might make Chris Healy do the next one. In the meantime, I might try to research a new site.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one. I can send it to you.
It looks like it's going to.
Mary told me about it.
Yeah, it looks like it limits me to making one a month.
Oh, that's fucking stupid. I'll ask her next time I see her. I'll text her and I'll ask for it. I forget what it's called. It's like fantasy pool or weekly pool. I don't know, something. It's something. I'll get it. I'll get the name of it. We'll figure it out. So, but we will be doing the weekly Sarcasm Speaks NFL Pick'em. It's $5 to enter. We send that through Venmo. Or right now, currently it's on DraftKings, but you know, as you just found out, that might change.
Yeah, it might be moving.
But winner gets all the money. So feel free to share that with anybody. Like when we share the link, share that with anybody you want. It doesn't matter. The more people that enter, the bigger the final pool is. In week 1, we had 17 people. So that was $85, right? So I think that checks out.
I should have 2 more for this week.
Yeah. So, I mean, that if everyone plays last week plus the 2 more, that's already 19. You know, we're already looking at close to $100 right now. So again, the more people you tell, the more people that play, the bigger the prize pool. So when you win, that's more money that you win. So check us out over there. So until next time, good night, everybody.